I don't like patchouli. My dress is wet. Girl, I do not know if I really like this or not. Mona girl, what we doing? Hi you guys, it's Taylor and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you know whenever I upload. Okay, so y'all, for today's video we are going to be reviewing Kayali's newest fragrance, which is the Vanilla Royale Sugar Patchouli. And y'all, I have some thoughts on this fragrance. I have been wearing this fragrance all weekend so that I can not only do like a review slash like my first impressions, but also a wear test and let you guys know, does it last, how long it lasts, what it smells like on the skin, and all of that, the projection, everything. Y'all, the shipping time on this fragrance was so fast. I ordered this the day that it came out on Wednesday, received my order on Friday. Like, who y'all know got some fast shipping like that? Okay, so like I said before, this is Kayali's newest fragrance that just launched. I know y'all have been seeing this everywhere, people talking about it, yada yada yada, but this is the Vanilla Royale Sugar Patchouli 64. This is the size bottle that I picked up. I decided to go with the mini version because, for one, this was going to be a blind buy. I was not going to obviously smell this fragrance beforehand. This is my very first Kayali fragrance that I have purchased from her brand as well, so I wasn't too sure what to expect, so that's why I decided to get the smaller version, just in the event that I bought it, I didn't like it, I only got a small size as opposed to the larger sizes, and spending like $100 and $140 and then having to go through the hassle of like returning it and all of that stuff. That would have been way too much. So your girl picked up this one, but I may or may not be getting a full size. I think this is actually my first like perfume purchase in my collection. I do have some perfumes from Alt Fragrances, but I didn't buy them, they sent them to me, so technically this is my first perfume purchase. Because as y'all know, I do have a lot of like Bath and Body Works body mists and stuff, which yes, they are fragrance mists, like fragrances, but they're not perfume fragrances, if y'all get what I'm saying. So this Kayali one is my first purchase, girl. The packaging of the mini bottle that I got is just her typical standard packaging for all of the minis that she carries, but if you do purchase the 50 ml or the 100 ml, you will get that gorgeous, luxurious golden bottle, which is just so beautiful in itself, which is also another one of the reasons why I will be purchasing a full size of this fragrance, just to have that as a collector's item within my collection. It's such a beautiful bottle. You can put it on display. I do want to read y'all a little bit of the product information that I have here on my computer about this fragrance, just so that you can get an idea of what the fragrance is supposed to smell like, the notes, all of that stuff, while I am describing and sharing my thoughts on it. So Vanilla Royale is supposed to be the intense version of the classic Vanilla 28 fragrance that she has. It says it blends an intoxicating mix of sugar patchouli and amber woods. It's a powerful, deep, addictive scent that's seductively irresistible in every way. The vibe is supposed to be boozy, bougie, intoxicating. The top notes are vanilla orchid, creamy jasmine, and golden rum. The middle notes are vanilla infusion, vanilla sublute. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Tonka bean accord, spicy rose bouquet, smoky leather, and creme brulee. And the dry notes are supposed to be sugar patchouli, musk, brown sugar, amber, and royal oud. And y'all, when I first saw that this fragrance was coming out, I instantly thought I wasn't really gonna pick it up or anything because of that patchouli note. And personally, me, girl, I don't like patchouli. I do not like anything scented with patchouli. I just don't know what it is, but it's not one of my favorite notes within products, especially if it's a high prominent note. Now, if there's a brand that has, or a fragrance that has patchouli in it, but it is like overpowered by other notes, then I can tolerate it. But patchouli in itself is a no. So I was like, Mona girl, what are we doing? But I decided to give it a chance, and you guys, this fragrance is so beautiful. I love it. I really do like this fragrance. When I first got it and I smelled it, upon my initial first impressions, it took me a minute to, you know, get warmed up to it, because upon first sniff of this fragrance, it is very boozy, just like it insists on the notes and in the description. It is such a boozy, smooth fragrance. Now this is definitely a fragrance that you need to spray on yourself and let it sit before you give it a full kind of thought process and decide whether you do like it or not like it, because upon that first spray, it is such a boozy notes. Like, it's very boozy but creamy and smooth at the same time. It does heavily smell of that oud as well, which to me, honestly, I think this can be a unisex fragrance just because of the notes in there and the way that it smells. I think personally that this would smell great on both men and women. It's very musky, very dark, seductive, just like the notes in the description say. I agree with all of that wholly. It's such a dark, boozy, warm oud type of scent. Those are the main notes that I get from it, but it does have that little bit of a sweetness tang to it, so that it's not overbearing and powerful. But I do find that upon that first spray, or the first couple of sprays, it is a powerful fragrance. I was not expecting it to smell like that. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a sweeter, vanilla, musky type of fragrance. So that first spray did throw me off. So I did let it sit on myself for a while. I went and did some things around the house, and then I was smelling it consistently as it was drying down and, you know, taking heat and connecting with my skin, and I did like it. I will say though, once it starts to dry down, it almost kind of shifts into a powdery note, which is kind of clean and refreshing to me. Now I do smell the patchouli in it, like, girl, the patchouli is there, but these other notes within it is definitely mixing well to the point where I can tolerate this. As somebody who does not like patchouli, I can tolerate this fragrance just because of the mix and the blend of the other notes that are in here, which I commend Mona and the whole entire Kayali team for the blend of these notes in here, because patchouli is a fragrance that, or a scent that, not a lot of people like, but I feel like this has just the right amount to where you will not dislike it just because of the patchouli note. Another thing I will also say is, upon that first spray, which you do get like the golden rum, the oud note, there is a slight like floral scent within there too, but it's not like too overpowering. But upon the dry down, I do smell a lot more of that vanilla orchid, which could probably attribute to why it's turning so powdery and just smelling like a smooth powdery scent instead of that strong burst of fragrance that initially applies. But on the skin, it smells so nice, so beautiful. This is definitely a dark and seductive fragrance. I would personally kind of consider this to be a nighttime fragrance, for me at least. Of course, you can wear it during the daytime. You can wear it anytime you want, because I mean, obviously it's your money, girl. You bought it, do what you want with it. But I find that I think this would be such a beautiful night out fragrance. Just anywhere you're going in the nighttime, this is definitely a fragrance that'll make you very luxurious, mysterious, seductive. It smells so wonderful. I am really loving it. Every single note that is within this fragrance, I smell them at different points upon the initial sprays, while it's drying down, once it's dried down, once it's on me. For the entire duration, I smell every single note in here, which I think is one of the best parts about this fragrance as well. Now we're gonna move on to the lasting power projection of this fragrance. I wore this fragrance over the weekend when I was out and about doing things. I just want to say I sprayed it on me around like 11-12 o'clock in the afternoon when I left out of the house. I didn't get back home until about, I want to say, 4:35 o'clock, and I smelled this fragrance on me that entire time. I smelled it on myself. I did get quite a few compliments of people saying they smelled me, like when I walked past, so it definitely does have a good projection factor to it. Now I will say, as the evening went on, like once I had come back home and I still, like before I took a shower and everything, the fragrance did start to die down and diminish and like lessen itself. But the one thing I will say is that I did still smell it. It wasn't as strong as it was when I first initially, you know, sprayed it in the morning time and throughout that day, but it was still there. If I had to rate both the longevity and the projection of this fragrance, I would most likely say the projection is probably an 8 out of 10, And the longevity, I guess I can also say it's an 8 out of 10 as well. Both of them, projection and longevity, 8 out of 10. But this is definitely a nice, good hitting fragrance. I will for sure be using this a lot throughout the winter and the colder months, which I will also add that I think this is probably a fragrance that will be best worn within the colder season, just because once that colder air picks up upon the scent, I find that it blows out and it just smells so nice and smooth coupled with the cold air. Probably won't wear it too much or even at all when it starts to get warm and hot outside, just because I think it would not mix the best with the heat. Like, it just wouldn't smell the best and it probably wouldn't last as long. But this is definitely a winter fragrance for sure. Another thing I will say though is if you don't like super strong, like heavy hitting scents, especially with that oud, that musky amber type of scent, you can also pair this with a sweeter vanilla. I mean, I'm sure you could probably pair it with vanilla 28. I don't have that fragrance, but I am picking that fragrance up this week. If you pair this with like any sweet vanilla, it does also take a play with these scents and the notes in there as well, so it will dial it down a little bit so that it's not super strong and musky, but it turns into like this more like musky sweet vanilla fragrance, if that makes any type of sense. On the first day that I wore this fragrance, I wore it by itself just to get the full effect of it by itself, no other additions added. I even put on unscented lotion, all of that, just so that it wouldn't affect any type of smell within this fragrance, so I could get the true fragrance and smell of it. But on the second day that I wore it, I did mix this with Bath and Body Works Vanilla Confetti Sprinkles Mist, just because it is a sweeter vanilla, and like I said, I wanted to test out how it would do paired against another sweeter vanilla fragrance, and it did hold up pretty well. Like I said, it kind of transitioned it into a sweeter, more vanilla fragrance, which I did like as well. So if you're not super heavy on those notes, or you don't prefer those heavy hard hitting notes, definitely pair it with a sweeter vanilla to get a better, creamier, sweeter type of scent out of it. If I had to rate this fragrance overall, you guys, honestly, I don't even know, because on one hand I want to say 10 out of 10, but then it's like, I don't know. I'm definitely going to be playing around with this a lot more with different combinations, just wearing it a little more. I'm even thinking about just letting it sit for at least like a month so that it can settle in a little bit more and kind of, you know, mature the fragrance. I don't know if mature is the best word. I think I'm going to give this fragrance a 9 out of 10. It's a great fragrance. I was not expecting to really like and love this fragrance like I do, because like I said, initially I was kind of taken aback. I was put off by the fragrance. I was like, girl, I do not know if I really like this or not. But as the time goes on, I'm really finding that I do really like and love this fragrance a lot more. So I am excited to pair it with other additions. I give it a thumbs up. I like it, so that's all that matters, because I paid my money for it, so I'm getting my money's worth. Alright, you guys, so that was my full review on the newest Kayali Vanilla Royale fragrance. I hope this was useful to any of you guys that are on the fence about purchasing it or not. If you did pick up this fragrance, or if you are going to pick up this fragrance, definitely let me know down below in the comments. If you've smelled it, let me know what your thoughts are, because a lot of the reviews and things that I've been seeing people say about this fragrance is definitely split down the middle, 50-50. Like, some people like it, some people don't like it. I feel like there's no in between, so definitely let me know y'all's thoughts down below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all really liked and enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up and commenting down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.